Have you ever found yourself doing the maths on somebody else's life? You know roughly what they earn, you know what they do for a living, and yet somehow they've got the new car, the dream house, and another holiday booked. So naturally, you start wondering whether you've accidentally been paid in Monopoly money. UK Finance Dad, making sense of Britain's money madness. Before we start, a quick disclaimer. This is not personal financial advice. If it was, I'd be charging considerably more than YouTube is currently paying me. Now let's look at today's mistake. Today we're talking about the fake rich trap. I'd like you to meet Britain's most expensive illusion. By the end, I'll show you the one question that instantly tells you whether someone is genuinely wealthy or simply looks wealthy. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the people you're secretly envying probably aren't rich. They're financed. There's an enormous difference. Britain hasn't suddenly become wealthier. Britain has become remarkably good at borrowing tomorrow to impress today. The car is financed, the kitchen was remortgaged, the holiday went straight onto a credit card. You're not looking at wealth, you're looking at monthly payments dressed up as success. Here's something worth trying. Next time you admire something expensive, don't ask, how much did it cost? Ask, what's the monthly payment? Suddenly the picture becomes much clearer. And here's the statistic that completely changed how I think about wealth. The average UK household, once you include the mortgage, owes more than an entire year's disposable income. Read that again slowly. The average family has already spent next year's money. That's why the broken boiler isn't just annoying, it becomes a financial emergency. Real wealth isn't tested when everything goes right. It's tested on a wet Tuesday in February. Most people aren't one lottery win away from being rich. They're one unexpected bill away from panic. Here's the good news. You don't have to become wealthy overnight. Start with an emergency fund. Even a modest buffer can stop life's little surprises turning into expensive debt. So how does the illusion actually work? Let's start with Britain's favourite status symbol, the car. Nobody walks into a showroom asking, can I afford a £60,000 car? They ask, can I afford £499 a month? That's the clever bit. They don't sell you the car, they sell you the monthly payment. The car quietly stops being a purchase and becomes another subscription. Here's a question I always come back to. If the monthly payment disappeared tomorrow, would you still choose the same car? If not, you might be paying for the image more than the transport. You're no longer buying a car, you're leasing approval from people you'll probably spend the school run trying to avoid. Somewhere in Britain, there's a man paying £700 a month to impress people he doesn't even like very much. That's not wealth. That's anxiety with heated seats. And then along came buy now, pay later. Splitting the cost of a sofa made sense. Now people are splitting trainers, clothes, even Friday night's takeaway. We've reached the point where your chicken korma has a repayment schedule. Here's a useful rule. If you'll still be paying for something after you've stopped being excited about it, think twice before financing it. The biggest trick isn't the debt, it's that you never actually see it. Social media shows you the driveway, it rarely shows you the direct debits. You're comparing your behind the scenes to somebody else's marketing campaign. Nobody has ever uploaded, "Morning everyone, here's my minimum credit card payment." Or, "Here's the exciting moment the boiler emptied our emergency fund." Social media never shows the monthly payment, it only shows the monthly lifestyle. So, next time you catch yourself feeling jealous online, imagine the paperwork sitting just outside the frame. It might not be there, but you've no way of knowing it isn't. Real life doesn't get many likes. It gets repaired, paid, and quietly dealt with. Here's a question that's far more useful than how rich do I look? Ask yourself this instead. If my income stopped tomorrow, how many months could I keep paying the bills? That's a much better measure of financial strength. So what does real wealth actually look like? The answer is probably much more boring than you're expecting. It's surprisingly boring. It's a 5-year-old Volvo that owes absolutely nobody anything. Nobody has ever gone viral for quietly having 6 months of emergency savings. But that's exactly the sort of thing that lets you sleep at night. It's an emergency fund quietly waiting for life to become annoying. Remember this: an emergency fund doesn't exist to make you richer. It exists to stop emergencies making you poorer. It's money that doesn't need an audience. Real wealth is astonishingly unphotogenic. And that's exactly why so few people notice it. The people who look richest aren't always the wealthiest. The people quietly building wealth usually give everyone else absolutely nothing to envy. First, stop comparing your bank balance to somebody else's highlights reel. Second, every time you see something expensive, ask yourself one question: is it owned or is it financed? Third, build something nobody else can see: your emergency fund, your ISA, your pension. Future you will notice. Looking rich is rented. Financial freedom is owned. One impresses strangers, the other lets you sleep. Choose the one that helps you sleep. I've been UK Finance Dad, making sense of Britain's money madness. See you next time.